The independent autopsy of a Mississippi teenager found dead after a July 4th boat trip has been released. It was read by family attorney Ben Crump earlier today. 18-year-old Nolan Wells was last seen on Horn Island, where he traveled with friends for the holiday, but he never returned home. His parents, they still have one question: what happened?
There's so many people out in the public asking all of these questions, but the only question that we have is what happened to our son.
CBS News correspondent Skyler Henry joins us live right now to break down the autopsy findings. Skyler, thank you for your time today. What did the autopsy show? Any new information?
Well, it depends on what you were looking for. I think based off of what we've seen with this autopsy, the preliminary findings showed that the cause of Nolan Wells' death is still undetermined from what the forensic pathologist says needs to be a continued investigation. And I think that sort of illustrates sort of where we have been in this entire case from the very beginning, as Nolan Wells' family and his legal team has continued to call for more transparency as it relates to this investigation from not only the lead investigative agency, which is the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, but also from the state medical examiner as well, who conducted their own autopsy, the initial autopsy as well. We should point out that we did reach out to them. They said that this is a process that will take time because they want to include the full medical examiner's report, which would include toxicology results as well. It's something that could take several weeks. And they actually sent a statement to me saying that they want to make sure that they let the public know that investigators are working on this, but they want to make sure that they are asking for additional time because of how specific all of these tests have to be. Based off of what we also saw with this independent autopsy is that Wells's body was so badly decomposed by the time it got to the third-party pathologist that it was pretty difficult to tell whether there was any sort of blunt force trauma or anything like that that might have potentially happened, but they were able to rule out a list of things, at least up until this point, namely that, or whether there were any sort of exterior injuries that could have potentially happened to Wells. They do have some outstanding questions and really said that until they get that full report from the state medical examiner, then they won't be able to sort of connect the dots, if you will. One of those is, what was the nature of Wells's body in terms of how he was found? Did he suffocate? Did he drown? A lot of things that they say that they are still waiting to figure out, because the state still has parts of Wells's body that they're continuing to do testing on, including pieces of his throat to determine whether there was water or anything like that might have been ingested. They've also highlighted the back of Wells's head, which they said was also showed red discoloration, which you can see right there in that image, that they say that they have some questions about to determine how that happened as well. But they said that really they can't get a full picture in terms of what happened until that state medical examiner's report is fully completed. And then, of course, when a full investigative timeline is released by the Jackson County Sheriff's Office as well.
Okay. Skyler Henry, thank you so much.